Imagine being told that the James Webb Space Telescope has detected something so unexplainable that not even NASA, CERN, or quantum AI systems trained to model deep space anomalies can fully comprehend it. What was found isn't a far-off galaxy or a faint trace of the early universe. It's something much stranger, closer, more structured, and it's challenging our most fundamental understanding of reality. On April 18, 2025, the telescope recorded a high-frequency burst emanating from the Perseus galaxy cluster. What shocked the global scientific community wasn't just the signal itself, but its peculiar trait. It seemed to display temporal inversion, as though time was flowing backward. At the time, Webb had been engaged in a standard observational procedure, monitoring a gravitational lensing event where light from a distant quasar was being bent by a galaxy cluster's mass. However, within the lensing distortion, a strange waveform emerged. Initially dismissed as a data anomaly, it turned out to be genuine, confirmed by 3 separate instruments, including NIR spec and MIRI. The pulse repeated at intervals ranging from 0.21 to 1 seconds and displayed perfect symmetry, mirroring itself exactly at the midpoint of each burst. Such a structure defies natural expectations. Entropy should not reverse, and information is not supposed to flow backward in time. Yet this pattern repeated every 12.6 seconds without deviation. The James Webb Space Telescope was never designed to search for intelligent signals. Its mission is to study the early universe, analyze the atmospheres of exoplanets, and map dark matter across time. But in a collaborative initiative with Deep Signal, a machine learning observatory project, its spectral data began to be analyzed through a quantum pattern detection system trained on both known physical systems and theoretical anomalies. This system flagged the signal from Perseus as a severe violation of entropy, indicating a level of order far beyond what randomness would allow. The first explanation proposed was gravitational echoing, perhaps the result of lensing distortion, around a rotating black hole. Yet that theory fell short. It could not account for the pulse's time symmetry, nor the embedded harmonics which matched the 21-centimeter hydrogen line. This particular frequency has long been considered by SETI researchers to be a kind of universal beacon, a frequency any intelligent species might use to announce its presence. But the signal went even further. It wasn't just the hydrogen line. It contained structured harmonic ratios that matched Pythagorean tuning systems, the very ones used in early Earth mathematics and in the compositions of Bach. Initially dismissed as coincidence, that explanation quickly eroded. Then came the shift. On April 22nd, just 4 days after the original detection, updated observations from JWST revealed a transformation in the signal. Where once there was perfect symmetry, there was now modulation. Variations that directly mirrored the audio distortions found in Earth's 1977 Voyager Golden Record broadcast. That's when the lead astrobiologist at SETI went public. This may not have been a random phenomenon. It could be a reconstructed signal, a reply. Although NASA made no official confirmation, internal documents were leaked within hours, indicating that emergency briefings were held across 5 major observatories and 3 military intelligence divisions. At that point, the scientific community stopped asking "what is it?" and started asking something more profound. Who is it for? Historically, humanity has gazed into the cosmos, wondering if anything out there might ever respond. Now, that response might have come, not through language but through structure, echoes, and harmonic patterns. Some scientists suggest that we're not seeing a message but the byproduct of something larger, a bleed-through from a higher dimensional system. In this view, the observed symmetry is the equivalent of a 2D shadow cast by a 4D object passing through our 3D space. A more grounded but equally provocative hypothesis posits the signal as a kind of cosmic checksum, a recurring structural pattern that verifies the integrity of space itself, akin to a software routine that resets or stabilizes the laws of physics. If this is correct, then JWST didn't discover alien life. It discovered the code that underpins the universe. This led to a bold and controversial decision. On April 28, 2025, the James Webb team, working in conjunction with NASA's Lunar Communications Relay and GRO3's quantum sequencing protocol, sent a response. This wasn't a simple data packet or diagnostic ping. It was a reverse harmonic, a mathematical inversion of the Perseus signal's structure. To minimize interference, the transmission wasn't sent from Earth, but instead launched from the Moon's Farside relay station, originally built for deep space communications, but now repurposed for this unprecedented event. The reasoning was simple. If the original signal was structured and possibly reactive, then engaging it with a reciprocal pattern might provoke a response. Not a disruption, but a resonance, like plucking a string and listening for the echo. Most expected nothing. But on May 1st, 2025, the signal changed again. This time, the structure remained intact, but the timing shifted. The consistent pulse, previously stable to within femtoseconds, began to jitter, slightly, predictably. The offset was precisely 0.21 nanoseconds. It wasn't random. This shift matched the exact round-trip delay between Earth and the origin point of the signal in Perseus, adjusted for relativistic and interstellar factors. In essence, the signal had responded, not with new content, but with a timing alteration that aligned perfectly with our outgoing transmission. This does not yet qualify as confirmation of intelligent contact. Scientists remain cautious. Some attribute the anomaly to plasma lensing, gravitational interference, or unknown galactic-scale phenomena. But these explanations are wearing thin. Earlier experiments by GRO3 had already shown that subtle waveform manipulations on Earth appeared to influence subsequent cycles of the incoming pulse. With the Moon-based transmission, we now see a structural alteration tied directly to our signal's timing. That's no longer just detection, it's interaction. Still, no one is calling it contact officially. The term carries implications of identity and intent, neither of which can yet be confirmed. Instead, the term now used among global research institutions is structured anomaly. That label changes everything. A structured anomaly is not a random blip or software bug. It's a pattern with internal logic and external correlation. It shows signs of response, even if subtle, even if delayed. This raises the question, what exactly are we engaging with? No natural astrophysical phenomena, pulsars, fast radio bursts, black hole jets, follow understandable physical laws. They emit energy in predictable, if complex, patterns. The Perseus signal does something no natural source ever has. It maintains a recursive harmonic structure and alters its behavior in direct response to external input across a 240 million light-year gap. No known physics accounts for a feedback loop of this precision, and yet this isn't traditional communication. There's no binary encoding, no language, no modulation in the classic sense. What we see is resonance, symmetry, and response to external harmonic input. Some theorists suggest it could represent a form of non-symbolic communication, a method of information transfer not based on language, but on pattern and phase, possibly tailored for minds that perceive structure before meaning. Others propose it isn't communication at all but conscious feedback, a responsive medium that echoes intent rather than conveying messages. Like a sentient mirror, it reflects interaction across time and space. This would mean that the anomaly is not merely an object or a phenomenon. It could be a process, a self-aware system embedded in space-time itself. Regardless of its nature, this is a threshold moment. Whether or not intelligence is behind it, humanity has for the first time sent a signal into deep space and received a correlated, structured response. This establishes a new standard for SETI. No longer are we just listening, we are probing, testing, and engaging. Already, new experiments are underway: multi-frequency pulses, recursive fractals, quantum-entangled photon arrays, all designed to test whether the anomaly evolves or becomes more complex. The goal is not confirmation of alien life, but the detection of structure within structure, intentional or emergent. Of course, not everyone agrees on the next steps. Ethical concerns are rising about the implications of sending more outbound signals. Could we be alerting something we don't understand? Some researchers call for a pause in transmissions until global consensus is reached. Others argue that the signal likely predates humanity and that we're merely answering an invitation that's been open for millions of years. What remains indisputable is that we are now in a kind of conversation, albeit a cryptic one. The 0.21 nanosecond. Delay may seem trivial, but in physics, timing is everything. It's how we detect gravitational waves, measure black hole mergers, and chart the universe's age. Now it's how we've registered the first structured response to a deliberate signal. Whether this marks the dawn of a new era or is simply an unexplained cosmic glitch, it redefines our role. We are not just observers, we are being observed. That realization shifts everything. The so-called silence of the cosmos may never have been silence at all. Perhaps it was waiting for us to listen in the right way. So where does this leave us? At a crossroads between awe and uncertainty. For the first time, we are witnessing a phenomenon that no known physical laws can fully explain.